going to read you a couple more extracts. It's Christmas fair time, isn't it? Christmas markets going on. So I'm going to take you to St Mark's Church Fete, but this one's actually in the summer. And here we find Liz James, together with her parish nemesis, George Armstrong. Every parish has a George Armstrong. Yes. At least one. George Armstrong was giving Liz James a hard time. "Look, Reverend, I've given up a ticket to watch the cricket to come and set all this up," he said, as she arrived at St Mark's Church Hall 10 minutes late. "Can't be doing with all this faffing about. It's just wasting time. Fate's due to open in 2 hours. Every year the tombola's there, the bric-a-brac's here, the bookstall's over there." Liz switched off as the litany of tradition was recited. St Mark's Church Summer Fete had been a fixture on the second Saturday of July for years. The annual event was George's baby, and it was now an awkward and difficult teenager. No one else had come to set up again. "People just can't be bothered these days," George moaned. "All stuck in front of their tellies, computer, or spending hours on Twitface or whatever they call it. So it's left to me to lug these trestles about all by myself. And you're just stood there asking if so-and-so could have all their stall there and thingamabob can be in that place." Liz's halo was slipping. "George," she said. "George, I haven't got time to talk about it, just help me with this, would you?" "At last he's letting me help," Liz muttered under her breath. "Of course, George. Where would you like it?" "That's better, Reverend. That's the right attitude, and we'll get it done in no time at all." As they carried the tables, he continued his tirade. "I do know why people don't like me. I'm not stupid. No one likes people who are angry all the time. But what I'd like to know is, what are you going to do when I'm no longer here? Who's going to do all this?" "Not thinking of leaving us, George?" Liz asked, trying to hide the faint trace of hope in her voice. "Nay, lass, but who knows what's going to happen," he replied as he opened a door. Liz glimpsed through the resultant crack. "Has something happened, George?" "Aye, but another time for that. We need to get on." The door was shut again. And just as he predicted, in no time at all, with half an hour to go, 12 trestle tables were set out ready to welcome the usual stall holders, in their usual places, with their usual assorted wares. Mrs. Conway's flower and houseplant stall was sure to win best display again. Arthur Sprocket's bric-a-brac saw a large brown chip teapot make its 13th annual appearance. The bookstall was crammed. While some had been before, there were a few new volumes this year. "This one was published in 1923, Mr. and Mrs. Bryant said in unison. "First edition. And we've got Geoffrey Archer, Jackie Collins, and Brian Cox," she said delightedly. "There's even," they giggled and looked around to check no one was eavesdropping, "there's even a Richard Osman." Oh. The church clock chimed twice as the Reverend Liz James declared the St Mark's Church Summer Fete well and truly open, and at past the first customers arrived. By 5, everyone was gone and everything was tidy. It hadn't exactly bustled, but there was enough to make it worthwhile. "A few more pounds in the coffers," the church treasurer observed. "Not bad, that," George said as he and Liz stacked away the tables. "Quite a success then," Liz thought to herself. "Yes, George, we got there in the end." "Shame you weren't here at the beginning all the same," George replied. "Thanks for all you've done, George," she said, taking a deep breath. "See you tomorrow." "Maybe, lass, maybe." Liz watched him put on his gabardine coat, the belt hanging loose. An envelope fell out of a pocket. George grunted as he bent down to retrieve it. Off he wandered, stick in hand, a forlorn figure. Poor George, thought Liz. At least she had Tony to go back to. So, you'll need to read the book to see who Tony is, and what happened next, and what was in the envelope.